the idea of Pursue Vegas was to really highlight the local people that really make Vegas, Vegas.
I love that aspect of how these visionaries are actually bringing people together.
When we hit record, our responsibility is to connect the people of our city so we can show the world who we really are. Welcome back to the Pursue Vegas podcast. I'm your host, Dave Berlin.
And I'm your co-host, Tawny Wynn.
And you already know.
Oh, fuck.
I'm going to say it. We are absolutely excited, but this is a different level of excited. Because not only do we have one of my favorite people in the city of Las Vegas here,
who's now mine,
but she's here to be on the podcast, and we're going to talk about pizza.
Oh my gosh, pizza.
Among other things, but we're going to talk about a lot of pizza.
Do we have to?
We're going to talk a little bit about pizza.
Yes, we're going to talk about pizza.
Yes, we're going to talk about pizza.
This better be some good fucking pizza, man.
It's so good.
We have Erica. We're going to say stunt double to the chef. But you are the chef, and among everything, you're like the GM, you're the maitre d', you're everything 00 Pie when Michael is not here. But Erica Bell, welcome to the show. Tell us all about you, what you're excited about. Go off.
Oh my gosh. 00 Pie Pub is a Chef Michael Vagnine restaurant. I wouldn't take credit for the chef, by the way. I'll pause right there. Joshua Goss, he's my lead pizzaolo. He's like our chef in training, but it is truly the three of us that are trying to dominate the Neo Neapolitan scene over in Chinatown. If you haven't been to 00, get your butt down there. It's delicious. I literally eat pizza every day, and I'm not complaining, and I actually don't gain any weight because it's that good.
It is that good.
And then when I'm not at the shop, I still crave pizza, and I'm like, I really want a New York slice, but maybe I'll just go to work and eat.
So what's so good about this for a virgin that's never stepped foot into a 00? Like, walk me through that process.
So 00 is the one and only concept in the world, but we do a Neo Neapolitan pizza, and what that is, it stems from Naples, like Nepali pizza is Neapolitan. When it came to like the States, they tweaked it a little bit because they were, there's different recipes, different styles of doing it that make it like original, but when you bring it anywhere else, it's Neo Neapolitan. We care about quality of product, fermentation process of the dough, which makes you feel good when you eat it, not heavy, not gassy, not uncomfortable. We're using the best cheese products from California, best olive oil from California, We get our pepperoni from Chicago. It's dry-aged pepperoni, microgreens. I mean, we're really just trying to hit the highest caliber of really good food products that you should have on a pizza.
Yeah.
Chef Michael is the most talented chef I've worked with to date, and his work ethic and his creative brain is just impressive. And so everything on that menu is really honing in on him and what he cares about. But also we have like really cool Asian flavors that kind of combine into traditional Italian food or Neapolitan pizza that make us really unique and special. In our first year of business, we were placed in the 50 top best restaurants, 50 top best pizza restaurants in the United States.
In their first year.
Yep. In our first year.
Yeah, I'm a super fan.
First and foremost,
I've taken all of my girlfriends and ex-girlfirlfriends to 00 Pie.
It's true.
Is that where you have your breakups?
That's where we have our first date, and that's also where we break up.
He's
so
got a
you've
table on
probably
the
seen
corner.
him cry there a lot of times, huh?
I mean, I won't dive into that, but there's lots of hugs. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sorry to all my ex-girlfriends who are listening to this show.
I love to unpack that and like the freshest ingredients, because right before this we were talking about the TikTok that you mentioned that is still sitting on the top of my mind. It's kind of like, why do Americans eat like we have free healthcare? Right, and pizza, I think, generally just gets such a bad reputation because they think it's all carb and it's all like bad for you, but it's just how the quality of the ingredients is sourced.
Right.
So that's why it's so expansive in your belly, and just the microbiome and the gluten, all of the structure. So when you mentioned that, the fermentation process, like I started geeking out because one of my goals this year is to make one fucking sourdough bread.
I'll
Just
help
the
you
one.
out. Yeah.
Like, come over, please.
You gotta talk to Ikram. She makes it at her house all the time.
There you go.
Well, I'm kind of
Friend of the show,
let me
Ikram
fail
Mansouri.
first. I'm gonna make him eat it. I'm like, let's fuck
That's
all
a
this
whole
stuff.
off-site show right there.
Yeah.
That was actually a job. Like back in the day, there was somebody that would eat food for the king to make sure that the king wasn't being poisoned.
Yeah, I heard about that.
What is it?
Yeah.
The cup? Is that what their name is? That's probably.
It's not the jester. Oh no, that's the.
I mean, his other job too.
Yeah.
So tell me more about your side gig.
Which one?
There's so
Okay,
much more that we don't know about.
Okay,
Dave.
before
Anyways,
we dive
back to earth.
too crazy into the fermentation process, let's talk about you, because this isn't your first gig, right? You've done lots of different concepts and stuff here. How long have you been in Vegas? Tell us your story. Like what got you to where you are today?
Okay. I was born and raised in Albuquerque, New Mexico. When I turned 18, I moved to San Francisco. When I got to San Francisco, I got into the medical field and then photography. I became a band manager, photographer. We traveled to Asia. So I thought I wanted to be a rock star. Not
You
that
are
type.
a rock star.
Well, just not, instrumental or vocal. I was just like, let me just take pictures
You didn't
of
get
you
those
guys.
Asian genes, right?
You are the groupie then.
I'll kill it at some karaoke with my mom.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
and then the culinary scene in San Francisco is amazing. And I was just an early punk in my 20s, and I never capitalized on it.
Oh, no.
I moved to Vegas, made some friends that were doing all sorts of culinary events. Then that's when I tapped into.
So when did you come to Vegas?
2014.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. It's
Welcome to a decade.
I know, right?
We just
Welcome.
celebrated.
Crazy. Wow.
I wish I had a song for you. I'm sorry, but I didn't get that part of the
we'll
genetics
keep it.
either.
Q, don't stop believing.
Please represent all of us. I failed at those genetics.
Just a small town girl.
When I got into Vegas and I made my friend group, they were all doing events around culinary.
Cool.
So from that, I volunteered. I ended up working for First Friday, running the food trucks and kind of like helping do production there. I stayed there for 5 years. And then I landlocked myself to Ferguson's downtown under Tony Shea and Jen Toller, who built and developed that whole entire city block. Started there as a volunteer, moved up to event coordinator, ultimately GM, helped open up a bunch of those different restaurants.
Interesting.
And learned a lot of stuff. Jolene Menina opened up Vegas Test Kitchen. And so that was because of COVID, bringing on all these really talented chefs on and off the strip to give them a home so we could try to like make money again in that industry because it all shut down, right? And then from there, I landed at 00 Pine Pub going into my second year with that restaurant, and it's really it in a quick snippet, but yeah.
That is quick. Now, I don't know if we've ever had the conversation about Tony Shea.
No.
We have not. That's the whole reason why I'm here. I moved here because I read Tony's book. And that's what inspired me to. We came and visited. We went to EDC 2015.
We talked about this a little bit.
But I guess I didn't know the depth of like how much stuff you actually did with him, because I knew about Ferguson's, which Ferguson's is great. It's been interesting to see that whole area kind of change and evolve.
Yeah.
But now, what are you excited about? I mean, you're on your second year with 00 Pie.
Yeah.
What are you pumped about? Like, because you've not only, I mean, you got the award. That's great. And it's, by the way, just if you haven't been, just go. Yeah. It's literally like I show people pictures of food all the time, but when people talk about pizza, I'm like, oh my gosh, have you been?
Yeah.
And I show people pictures and they're like, where is this?
Yeah.
So where are you located at? And then what are you excited about this year for things to come?
We are in the same shopping center as Golden Tiki. It's the best like landmark where people go, oh, I know where you're at.
Yeah.
Shopping center with bad parking. That's us.
Yeah.
It's worth the fight. Fight for the parking spot.
Second one
Special-
is Shanghai's.
Yeah, just a
That's pretty bad, too.
side note, and this is a little aside. If you park in the back of the building behind that one, it's worth the half-block walk, and you'll get your steps in, so you can step it off whenever you eat all the incredible pizza too.
Yeah.
But back over by J Bar Golf.
Yeah.
There's a whole empty park. Now I'm just going to ruin it for myself too.
Thanks,
but
Dave.
No, it's good. Do it. Come to the restaurant.
Yeah, whatever it takes. Uber your way there. It's worth it.
Bring
Come
a
to my
flashlight.
house. We'll walk down. I live in the alley
Park
behind.
in Dave's driveway.
It's kind of like I just think of that meme. It's like, we ride at dawn. Let's walk in the back. I don't know why that came to my head.
We should do that for an ad. Anyways.
Oh, I have all the ads in my brain for how we could shoot just all the viral
His
content.
pre-workout is just firing you off. The restaurant is off Spring Mountain, Valley View, right next to J Karaoke, Golden Tiki, J. What's the golf spot? The new golf spot?
Yeah, J Bar Golf.
J Bar. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
There's
Just said that.
Yuza right over there. I think.
Yeah, Mas Por Favors right around the corner. I don't know if we could say that.
I got a
on-
massage like right down the street from there.
Yeah, you did. She got two massages.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's only 11:30. I mean, we don't really want to get into that.
Is this for Pursue Vegas after?
They don't
dark?
know what time it is when we recorded this podcast.
Sorry.
It's 11:30
at
p.m.
night. No. Let's get into that.
We're breaking the time-space continuum.
My goals for this year is just continue to operate, grow this team, educate them, make our hospitality stronger. We really want to get acknowledged by James Beard. We really want to get acknowledged by Best of Las Vegas. We really want all those kind of accolades because we deserve it. And we are such a special space with, again, like really high quality food that it's important for Chef Michael. I think this is a project of his that's very, very special and unique because he has Truly Pizza in Dana Point. They're growing and expanding, and it's beautiful down there. He started Pop-Up Pizza that's at the Plaza.
I always forget about that one.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was his first thing in Vegas. I could be wrong.
I think you're right. I do think you're right. And I almost forgot about that because I was going to say, oh, this is his first one in Vegas. But
This is his, like-
Yeah.
I mean, Chef Michael Vagnine restaurant. It's very
Yeah.
cool. And he gets
Yeah.
to flex, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So for us, our sales are up from last year. Like everything's trending really well. When you're in your second year of business, it's still hard. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm an overachiever, so I want high numbers now. And all of my executive, like my leadership team, they're just like, you're doing great. You're
Yeah.
doing great. It's going to take
Yeah.
time. And I'm like, I want it now.
Yeah.
Give it to me now.
Yeah.
No, and it's great because, we have a friend of the show, Josh, and we leaned into the conversations in the whole restaurant space before on the first 5 years being in business in a city that's so highly saturated.
gosh.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
new restaurants that pop up and come in and think that they can use a concept
Yeah.
and just really lean into like social media marketing and all of the trends and the flash, and then they don't have a sustainable team around them to build trust with, the consumers and just the people that come into this town, the locals especially. That's what our show is kind of about. It's kind of like, where do locals go? Where do people play here? Which is like where our dollars going.
It's so important.
And for me, like I love talking to a good integrator, and for you as being an operator, and you mentioned something earlier, is you want to lean into mentoring and building community around that space and really being like a leader in that space.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to throw this in there because Erica, you're incredible, but in a sense, you're also a descendant of incredible leadership.
Well, yeah.
And I'll say that because I know something that a lot of people don't know, and people think I'm crazy when I start bringing this up. Chef Michael, he's part of the World Pizza Champions.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And that opens up a whole world when we start talking about there's a world beyond pizza that most people don't know. And it's kind of one of those things that doesn't do anybody any favors that Pizza Expo is closed to people actually in the industry. It's not a fanfare. It's not like, oh, I love pizza, I get to go. No, you don't. Like it's only open to people that are in the industry. And inside of the whole industry of the world of pizza, there's a very hand-selected group of people called the World Pizza Champions. And I know this. One of my good friends who I work with on lots of projects, he was the president of the World Pizza Champions, Mike Bausch. You hosted last year at Pizza Expo, or rather, 2024 Pizza Expo. You hosted all the World Pizza Champions at your restaurant. But this is the caveat to World Pizza Champions. It's not only people that compete on a global level, and you don't necessarily have to win. It's not that level of champion. Like a lot of those people have won, and a lot of those people continue to win year after year. Yep. But It's also people that aren't assholes in the industry. It's people that don't have an ego. And in that industry, there are a lot of people that do have an ego. They don't want to help anybody. They look at everybody as competition. They look at, this is my secret. I'm not sharing this with anybody. But then you have about 80 World Pizza Champions that have all been hand selected. They've been watched by former World Pizza Champions year after year. And then it's an elite group of business operators that come together to support each other, to grow the industry. And they also raise an F ton of money for stuff like Make-A-Wish Foundation. When they broke the world record for the world's largest pizza party in Oklahoma, while they were there, they actually, at Mike Bausch's restaurant, they did all the footage, they took all the video, photo, and all that stuff, and they created the Pursuit of Pizza cookbook. And then a year later,
It's right there. Yep.
Friend of the show. A year later, at Pizza Expo last year, they actually released that book, and they raised like another $50,000 for Make-A-Wish. So you come from that heritage of working for somebody who's not just an incredible restaurant operator, but part of an elite group of people. Can you hit on that and about where you guys are taking all of that stuff this year?
I was raised, and Michael and I lived in downtown or near downtown for a while. I live in the Southwest now, but my mentorship is the most important thing, number one. Mm-hmm. My mentors taught me collaboration over competition. Okay. Community is everything, right? Because those are your regulars. Those are your people that you can rely on. Those are the ones that show up for you when you do your special event or show up for you when you have a slow week. Whatever your business is, it doesn't have to just be food, right? And Michael, he's got all sorts of mentors too. And it's truly, and he's a consultant. He helps people build their businesses. He helps bring in recipes. He does all these things. He's a super talented guy, and he's the most humble guy ever. And I've always had a surrounding of people like this in my Vegas life. Yeah. Okay? Mm-hmm. Vegas is such a unique city because it's blowing up. It's the hustle and bustle. It's money. It's the strip. It's all these celebrity chefs.
It's all the distractions.
Yep. And then you have your off-the-strip community that realize we have the biggest competition. Yeah. So how do we stand out? You stand out together, right? And to your point, some people are not going to support, they're not going to share, they're going to keep it close to the chest. Good for you. They've never been exposed to someone coming and being like, I really like what you're doing. I'm doing the same thing. Let's collaborate. Yeah. Collaboration is everything. We can't do things by ourselves. We just can't. We weren't designed to do that. We're human beings. We need nurturement. We need friends. We need people to call us out when we're not on our path. People to help us get on our path. People to help build a path. You know what I mean? Like, these are all really important things. And I hone that in from my mentors. I have multiple mentors. Chef Brian Howard, of course, Chef Michael, all of my executives in that Lev Group, friends in California, Miriam at Yums and PDX. Yeah. Like, I consult her, she consults me. Like, you have to cheerlead for each other. You know what I mean? And it's really, truly the most important thing. And that's what I try to bring to the table for my team. It's just like, it's not front of house versus back of house. This is one team. If we mess something up in the kitchen, we don't have it for surface, it affects everybody, right? And that's truly what it comes down to. I mean, like, I can't make moves if I don't feel confident in myself. And if I'm feeling insecure and I can't find the words, I lean on someone to help bring that forward, right? Because there's just so much going on. The city's just so wild and crazy. And you have to just stay on track. And you have to learn how to be disciplined. And when you're not disciplined, how do you get disciplined, right? Oh my gosh.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it. So good.
You can't do it by yourself. Yeah. Period.
We can't do it by ourselves. So I think that's everything. And it echoes in everything that you do. So whenever I go frequently, and it's like I always sit at the bar because like I love having a conversation with your bartenders. But like it's always a great atmosphere. I can always rely that if I recommend people to go there, they're going to have a great experience. At some point, everyone's going to try to get to know them by name. And this is a tourist town where most people don't do that, but I think it's so powerful and it echoes because, and you mentioned Miriam, who's all the way in Portland.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because, Mike Bausch is in Tulsa, but like the pizza world is actually really small. So when people are traveling through, especially cities like this, like a lot of times people are like, oh, I'm going to Vegas. What do you recommend?
Right.
People are recommending Double Zero Pie. Like, hey, if you're going to Vegas, it's a little off the strip. It's like 6 minutes off the strip.
Yeah.
I still consider that the Strip.
Right.
Considering I live in the boonies.
Right.
I live in the boonies too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm driving there. 30 minutes later.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm going.
Exactly. But yeah, I think it is powerful, and it does go just beyond, somebody grabbing a slice at the airport or something like
Right. that.
Like there's a totally different experience. So can you talk a little bit about the things that are important to you? Is it ambiance? Is it food? Is it service? When those three things come together, what's the most important thing for you?
I truly believe the most important thing overall is quality, right? Quality food, quality people. Because if you have quality food, then you're halfway there. If you have quality people that are speaking about what the restaurant's purpose is, and the restaurant's purpose is quality, boom. Now you're at 80%. And then for me, ambiance, of course. Everyone wants to sit in a really cool... Look at this room. Like, when I walked in here, I was like, oh, this is badass. This looks cool.
You're like, I can't wait.
Yeah. This is what it was like on Instagram. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? And then that just, boom, that's the full package. So quality over everything, right? I tell my team often, and they forget often, but they are humans, that you have to check in with me. If you're having a bad day, personal life, car broke down, pulled over, whatever, and you're going to show up to work having a bad day, then that's going to affect the quality experience for the guest, right? It's going to affect your sales, probably, right? It's going to affect your attitude in the back of house if you're one of my chefs. And so you got to check in with me and be like, yo, this is what's going on. I don't even need the details. This is what's going on. I'm not 100%. I'm at 80%. I'm like, sweet, go. We'll put you in the back section. Fold napkins all night. You know what I mean? Like, we got you covered, but you got to earn your living, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of communication and dialogue is super important. And if you can start with the person, then everything else falls in place. A lot of young people don't know that because they're so distracted by technology or social media that they're getting fed all this stuff, and maybe they're getting trolled, whatever. It's so hard to live in a technology world now because we're losing touch with each other as human beings, and our emotional intelligence, or for some of the youth, I feel like emotional intelligence is so disconnected now because they don't know how to communicate, right? And so I try to just bring the basics down. Tell me how you're doing. You feel okay? You seem like you're off. Did you eat? Do you need a snack?
Yeah.
Would you like a hug?
Are you
I would like a snack.
dehydrated?
I would love a snack.
Dave's always hungry.
I literally go to my team and like one of them will be like really whatever hyper all over the place. I'm like, do you want a hug? And they're like, yes. And I'll just give them the like biggest hug. And I was like, do you feel better? They're like, yeah. I'm not a big hippy dippy like person, but I'm just like, let's just bring it down to the basics.
You're pseudo hippie.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, emotional regulation is at the base of just human connection because
my
most
gosh.
people are just detached from themselves and they can't even regulate or communicate how they feel because they don't know how they feel.
Yeah.
Because the joke we make between us is that we spent many, many years, like I was a bartender, just dead inside because I know that once I'm on and I'm behind the stage, the 3 feet of bar behind me and somebody else, I have to put this like
You're
I'm on. Like I have to make their day. I listen and I know everybody by name and I can tell you like over the last, I don't know, decade and a half, like all of who my clients were and like what they drank and like how they like their drink, how their wife's doing. Like I kind of know like everything about them. So for me, every time I talk to anyone else that's been in hospitality, I'm like, do you know hospitality or were you in it for hospitality? Like it separates the people from the people.
Oh, yeah.
Do
you care or are you here to make money?
Yeah.
Right? And of course, both is what you want.
Yeah.
But it's difficult.
Well, I think even to that point, the people that really cared pre-COVID got to carry on through. Like, those were the people that got lifted up, that got raised up, that made it through, because that rocked everyone's world, especially in this city. Mm-hmm. Especially for restaurants, especially for events, all of those things. Mm-hmm. I felt like it kind of like wiped the slate clean. Yeah. It really gave everybody who cares that opportunity to level up. It was this big Etch-a-Sketch.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
For all the bullshit, and then they shook it up, and it's like, all right, now we can start. But only you can come, and only you can come, and only I can come, because we actually cared.
Yeah. During COVID, I was at Ferguson's downtown. That team was badass. Like, that Ferguson's team was badass. Cheers to them. We took we were event-based property, I would say. We were heavy in the events, and we did really great events. And we pivoted majority of them to virtual events. Yeah. Which was like, how are you going to even do that? And I'm telling you, in a matter of a week, we figured it out, and we made money. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it was just like, you figure it out. And to your point, like, if you care and you want it, you'll get it. Yeah. Right? Be disciplined, have a support system, and you can do it. Truly. Yeah. Yeah, it's wild.
So what's next for you? I know there's a big event coming up. Are you excited?
Pizza Expo?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. I'm super excited. I'm competing this year in... So Pizza Expo, it's booths, it's the who's who of the pizza world, tons of vendors, all the people, of course, and then there's a really killer competitive section, and you can compete in multiple categories and stuff. And I think last year it was like something like 300 competitors. I could be wrong, but it was pretty extensive and it was a big deal. And it was my first exposure to it. Michael, he's a three-time world champion, so he's used to it, and we have him as our coach. And when I say we, it's literally anyone in my kitchen team that really wants to go after it, which is...
And, like, level up their game.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. And, like, I'm a competitive person by nature anyways. Yeah. So being the GM at this restaurant, I know how to make every food item on our menu. I've watched these boys make pizza all day long. I make really good pizza. I'm not going to say I make pizza like Josh or Devin, but I'm, like, third in line. You know what I mean? I'm, like, just good pizza maker in there.
I'm going to go in and I'm going to specifically ask you to make me a pizza.
I will. And I'll be like... Okay, how many?
Yeah, I'm like, surprise me. Put whatever you want on there.
Anytime I can make pizza, I'm
gonna
super
blindfold
excited.
myself and just blow me away.
Yes, gotcha.
Now that sounds some 50 Shades of Grey shit. I just want.
Well, most people don't get this. It's like, it's not just about the competition. For some people, it is. Competition is weird for me, but the competition with yourself, it forces you to level up. It forces you to be able to, step outside your comfort zone, because you haven't been making pizza for very long. But here you are, you're competing at a worldwide level, where there's people that have been in this industry. And I know this, and this is a side, and it's not a sales thing. It's just, we're like in the group that I'm running with Mike, right? Our mastermind, we have 140 restaurateurs from around the world. And these are all people of different levels. These are people that aren't even, some of them are pre-open. Some of them have had one store, like Tony Triano. Shout out to Chicago. Tony Triano, he has one store. It's $1 million plus store, one location. He's got like 20 seats or something like that. Oh. It's just, he's just jamming all the time. So you have people at that level. Then you have people that have 4 or 5 stores. Oh, yeah. But, like, there's people that have been in this industry, and they're almost, like, afraid to compete.
Oh, just do it.
Yeah, Mike tells them, like, you're competing for 2 reasons. 1, it's going to force you to level up. Oh, yeah. 2, you can always do the backsplash of, like, marketing. There is a big PR that can come from it and for people, especially that come from somewhere that's not Vegas, they can say, hey, I went to Vegas. There's a whole story that could be told just from, like, leaving your small town, like, and driving across the country to go compete at a worldwide level. And even if you place at all, you win. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you get first or whatever. 100%. It's like there's a whole story to be told there. And I've been on the competition floor. It's fierce. It reminds me, it's kind of like, watch, this year I'm going to take the boombox and I'm going to play the Karate Kid. You're the best around. I'm just going to walk around playing it because it feels like the tournament at the end of Karate Kid 1.
I'll text you when I'm on.
How do I be a part of this? Do I have to jump the fence? Gotta
Sure.
get in on a groupie
We'll put a fence
level.
up for
Or
you.
That is something we cannot
Like,
talk
I
about on the
fought
show.
my
It's like
way
a
in
super
there.
secret thing. There's an application process. You have to get jumped in like in gangs in
All right,
the
so
90s.
I'll call the guy. Got it.
He's right here.
I'll jump the fence, just not in these shoes. I'll break an ankle.
I'm competing in pan pizza.
Nice.
Yep.
Very cool. So tell us about
We don't
that
even
because
make pan pizza at Double
No.
Zero, but
Yeah.
I got Chef Michael Vacnine, so
Yeah.
he's my coach.
Yeah.
I'm not worried at all. Devin Burling, who's my lead pizzolo, he's doing traditional.
Gotcha.
And Joshua Goss, he's doing Neapolitan.
Nice.
He competed last year for the first time, and he was like in the first wave, 7 a.m. I was his stage mom, so I was there with all this stuff. We had our branded jackets on. We were looking really cool, and it was like I had coffee and snacks. I'm like, you can do it, honey. Good job, And it was his first experience, and it was my first experience too. And I was on fire, and I was like watching all these people come around from all over the world. And I'm like, this is neat. I want a piece of this. And so when we were talking about it after that year, we all decided that we're all going to compete this year. And so it's 3 people representing Double Zero in 3 different categories. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
And I want us all to podium. And if we did, like, that's insane. That would be absolutely bonkers. And I feel pretty confident that someone's going to do really, really well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, I'm just going to say this because we're on record, right? This is going out into the universe, and I'm going to make sure that it goes out before Pizza Expo. But I caught myself last year doing something pretty shitty. Mike called me out on it too, Mike Bausch, because I was like, there was somebody who won, and then they got to go up and talk, and they were just like handshaking, afraid, and like I think it was they were talking about what they made. And I was like, man, it's kind of like what you see, right? It's like these people are great at their craft, but they're not the greatest public speakers. And he pulled me aside. He goes, hey, man, like you got to know, like they have been working on this for months. Their whole life has revolved around this for months. And I was like, as soon as he started to talk, I was like, damn, I kind of checked myself. And I get it now. But like here, it's literally 4 minutes from my house. So to me, I was just like, oh, this is like the whole world. And it definitely, it was an ego check. But also I was like, man, these people are coming from all around the world. They've been working on this. And then who knows, you get here and your ingredients aren't as easily as available as they would be. There's people that literally fly in with what is it? The Yetis full of like their ingredients. People store their stuff at my house. It's a whole damn thing. Like I have like my refrigerator is open during Pizza Expo.
We open our kitchen to anyone that's traveling in.
Love it.
They can, tell us what products they need, whatever. We're here to help you do it. But it's a humongous convention at the Las Vegas Convention Center. And to your point, like a lot of these people, maybe they come from small towns, maybe their operation is a small operation, and they're putting their name on the line and they're putting the coin out there, do it all. And it's an intense kind of circus of stuff. And if you don't know what to do, like again, I'm following Chef Michael around, and I'm like, oh wow, this is cool. But I'm following one of the lead guys that's done this and won it a couple times, and
people
I'm like,
kind of get out of his way. They're like, oh,
or they're like, hey chef, will you come look at my pizza? Will you look at my dough and tell me? And I was like, that's when I met Miriam, and she's like, come look at my dough. I actually made her Polish for her competition pie. I don't think she knows that, but now you do. And it's a wild ride. And if you're not a competitive person, and if you don't strive in uncomfortable environments, that's an extremely uncomfortable environment. And then you're getting judged, and then you have to go through this really weird judging process. And like we started talking about Pizza Expo for 2025 at the end of Pizza Expo last year.
The conversation doesn't stop.
And that's when
that's just how you set your calendar.
My guys have been training every Tuesday, working on dough, talking about ingredients. We locked that stuff down 2 months ago. Now it's just repetition, getting it out there, figuring out what you're going to do. And I'm doing pan, so it's a totally different style of pizza, and I'm not worried about it. But
now, when you say pan, is that similar to Detroit? Because I think Detroit, I get jacked on Detroit.
But, I would imagine, and I haven't combed through the rules specifically, but I'm doing Detroit.
The square?
Yeah. I'm going to do a Detroit pan, so it's not very big. We're like Sicilian. It's still pan and stuff, but it's a lot larger. So I'm going to do the smaller version and just keep it super traditional.
yeah, with Pizza Expo, what are you competing in?
I'm competing in pan pizza. So there's like Detroit style, so it's gonna be the smaller type of pie, and like I said, I haven't read the rules or
Should probably do that.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
I'm like, Mike, just tell me what to not do.
But, you know, just
I'm just gonna show up. No,
get a group of betas together and, you know. I'm sorry for winking at you. Please don't submit a sexual harassment because I couldn't wink.
Yeah.
I can't wink. I just blink.
I know.
Yeah.
I was just like, I think I gave you all my eyes. I was like, ah.
But there's Detroit pan pizza. I'm sure Sicilian's part of it, whatever. But I'm going to just do super classic.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And then, so what are the other? I can't remember all of the types. There's a couple different competitions though.
Uni, vegan cheese, Daya is the brand.
Okay.
Non-traditional, traditional, cheese slice.
Oh, nice.
I think I'm probably
That's
missing.
like Portnoy level.
I guess, yeah.
Or like no sauce, like the white pizza.
No floppy pies, or no soggy bottoms is what we say.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, we don't
think
like the
that's
limp
the
ones.
main. Oh, and then Italian sandwich.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the guy that I watched was the sandwich guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
the sandwiches are nuts.
Yeah.
And if you hang out by there sometime, well, you can't
Oh,
get
definitely.
in. Yeah, some people can't get in. But for the people that can, you can kind of just hang out over there and they'll slice it all up and
You're
you can
just
try it.
eating all day long.
Yeah.
It's the best.
So the hardest part about Pizza Expo, I just got to say this, like I love pizza. I do. But when I'm walking that, I probably do 20,000 steps a day. Mm-hmm. But I also go for, that's where I just eat my weight in vegan pizza. And it's because I'm always curious to see how people, that's a challenging pizza, but for me, it's like, it's a lot lighter than just eating like heavy, like meat,
you need to.
combo. Yeah. And it's great.
Yeah.
I think the thing with vegan pizza for me is like getting the cheese to melt.
Yes.
Because I went through a phase, like 5-6 years ago of learning all the plant-based stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Before I decided just to go back all raw and raw real meat. And it's very difficult even just making it at home.
There's such great products out there now, to your point. Texture's everything, I mean,
Yeah.
in like sustainable ingredients, high quality ingredients, plant-based ingredients are
Yeah.
super key. There's so many gluten-free people. There's so many dietary restrictions. We can't do anything about it. It's happening. Get over it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, but
Just roll with it. Throw it on your menu.
High quality, plant-based, whatever. It's got to happen, and it's happening. So, but I mean, when we do Pizza Fest every year here in Las Vegas, the Women's in Pizza booth. Hey, shout out to you guys. Danny Oakley of Yukon Pizza, she's vegetarian.
Yeah.
So when she's participating in the booth, we do a vegetarian pizza. When I joined the 2023, or was it 2024 Pizza Fest, we did one. This year, 00 was in VIP, so I didn't get to participate in the Women in Pizza booth, but they did another vegetarian one. Yeah. And to your point, when you're at a festival, a pizza festival, or an expo, you're eating meat and cheese all day long.
Yeah.
So you're seeking out that vegetarian option or vegan option or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's really
I
smart.
just love to see what they do with it.
See, when
Yeah.
I'm at Pizza Expo, I don't eat.
That's fair.
No, I'll eat for you. I'll be your body double and eat
Sounds
for
like
you.
have some pizza. I only ate Miriam's pizza last year. I think that was it. Maybe Michael's Italian sandwich, and I was like, okay, I'm just stressed out.
No, I think the way I judge a good pizza is just simple. Like, is the sauce good? Is the cheese good? And a little bit of basil for me. So I judge it on the crust, which reminds me of like a movie that I watched with a rival with like the brothers that's been competing for years and years because like they're like, no, mine is better. No, mine is better. And it's like a love story of like their descendants, which has like they fell in love and they have to compete in a pizza thing, right? And
Wait, like a plague of both the houses, like Romeo and Juliet style
kind
on
of,
pizza?
yeah.
What
So
movie
their
is
fathers
this?
are
I don't know.
like, you can't date because he's his son, and then she like at the end switched the sauce, which is her grandma's sauce, with his grandma's like crust, and that's how they won. And
Collaborative over competitive.
Ah,
See?
look at that.
Full circle.
It's
Full
a very
circle.
old movie. Like,
Welcome
I'll
to the
pull it up.
callback.
So I would have to ask you, like, what do you think it's more important, the sauce or is it the crust?
For me, it's going to be the dough. It's going to be the crust because that's what we care about the most at 00 Pie and Pub.
Yeah,
I mean,
you guys have a whole different level because when people ask me, they're like, they see a picture of it and they're like, what is that? And I just say it's Tokyo bubble crust.
So,
Which I think I invented that. I don't know if you guys invented that, but
in
it's,
Wikipedia, it has your face next to it.
Oh, nice. I love it. What's Wikipedia? I'm just kidding.
I can't teach you all this stuff right now. Okay, we're on the clock.
We're taking Tim there, remember, because we talked to our friend
That's
Tim, a friend
right.
of the show, and he's doing like a pizza series for his business.
Yeah.
And we're gonna take him around town. And the first thing you said is, "We got to take you to 00."
I did.
Oh my
So
gosh,
of course,
yeah.
me is I invited myself, so I'm like, I'll be there too.
Yeah.
100%.
now
You better be there.
I'm gonna double down on the double invites on the show
At
and
00.
Yeah.
There it is. At double down.
You're
at
gonna
00.
see me sit at the booth like by myself awkwardly. It's like, are my friends here?
That's what you need. You need, okay, I'm just going off here. That table, the big family style table,
Yes, yeah.
we need a roulette wheel in the middle.
Okay.
That just has 00 all the way around it.
Oh, look at you.
Isn't
You're
that
so clever.
That's like the new age of like the participation trophy. Like everybody can win.
So, okay, so
You get a slice.
so now I'm starving, and now we have to leave because I'm going to eat. I love it, and I'm going to continue to bring people there. It was a joke about the ex-girlfriends, right? I've only brought like 4 ex-girlfriends there.
It's more friends than ex.
Yeah,
exes.
but with that, I love bringing people there. I can always count on it. I know the secret parking hack, so if you need the secret parking hack, just ask me. But where can people find you? How can they engage? How can they connect? Tell us everything.
00 pieandpub.com. You know what? I should probably look that up. 'Cause it should be 00pie, 00pieandpub.com. And then our Instagram is 00pie. Can I look?
Yeah.
Sorry. Because we have
It's all good. You're
different things
yeah.
for different places.
Brands are popping.
Gosh. I'm such
I
a
meant
bad
more
GM
specifically
right now.
for you.
Oh,
like
for me,
you
yeah.
directly. Because then
Yeah.
it sprawls out from there.
My Instagram, I don't do TikTok. I didn't care that I got shut down.
TikTok got shut
me,
down?
Write me an angry letter.
What's TikTok?
But I'm on
Welcome to
Instagram.
2025.
I'm on Instagram. I don't have my notifications turned on.
Same.
So just give me a break, okay? If it takes
Yeah.
me a couple days.
Yeah.
No, Erica, ERICA _ S Bell on Instagram. I have my own business called IamYLG.com. I do consulting, photography, videography. If you want someone to talk to, just call me. But that's where you can reach out to me directly.
I love it. And then I have to ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
Because you obviously have a passion for your vocation and what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your favorite place to get pizza that is not 00 pie?
Oh my goodness.
Put you on the spot.
I know.
Dun dun dun.
Okay. I got 3. Yukon Pizza, not only for their pizza, but their burgers. Chef Justin Ford is super talented. Alex White, super talented. That whole team, just phenomenal. Very consistent, good food. Metro Pizza, John Arena.
Love it.
Chris Decker. Classics, always going to hit the spot. Their team, and it's just like a family. You walk in and you just feel like you've been there before. It's like a family-run place. And then, oh my God, it just escaped my brain. Yukon, Metro. Crap. Oh my God, it was such a good one too.
It's in my kitchen. Surprise.
I can't remember. I'm blanking hard.
Because you haven't eaten today.
I had my overnight oats. That's it. Shoot, I can't remember.
See, I know what she's doing. She's like, now they have to bring me back on the show. And we will.
You should.
Because we're gonna do the update. So
But
with
next
that
time
being,
we're gonna have a pizza.
yeah,
I
that's
know,
right.
for sure.
We might have to shoot like a special episode on location.
Yeah.
Oh my God, let's do that.
I'm
That's
down.
perfect.
Let's do it.
You
Yeah,
gotta,
I'll make pizza
you
for
gotta
you.
pop my cherry.
Oh my God.
So and with that
just gonna
being
leave that
said,
there.
I know, and this is the best part, right? As we wrap today's show, this is probably the most authentic way I've ever got to say it. Sorry, Mike Kim, we ran out of time, but when you do come to Vegas, we're taking you to 00 Pie. It's right next to all the Korean barbecue.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah. Just come hungry. And if you don't drink, I have you covered.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, guys, that's it for us today. Please reach out to Erica, Dave, or myself in Instagram. Slide into our DMs. My notification is also off, so maybe just reach out to Dave. Let's just pin it all on Dave.
Speed dial 4. Speed dial 4.
We are probably going to ghost you in this season. Thanks for tuning in.
The idea of Pursue Vegas was to really highlight the local people that really make Vegas Vegas.
I love that aspect of how these visionaries are actually bringing people together.
When we hit record, our responsibility is to connect the people of our city so we can show the world who we really are.